Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for BCH. Now, before I get into this count, I just need to make it clear that these are just placeholders. This isn't trying to predict the future. It's a very difficult chart, and we're at an area of decision and how I'm going to proceed moving on here. Now, I've closed out all my BCA trades here, and I'm just waiting to see what happens. So, currently as labeled, I have a wave 1 and 2. Have another excuse me, diagonal 1, very long 2 as a running flat, which you've seen me say that's a very bullish sign. So no surprise we got this fast move after the fact. But after that, that's where the count gets quite difficult. So I can count these as 3 waves or as 5 with an extended 5th and the 3rd. So it makes things very, very difficult. This area right down here actually counts pretty nice as a 5-wave move with a short 4th wave. I'll show you that. And just to show you the difficulty of this area. Try the 1 hour actually. That's a little too zoomed in. Right in here. So I want to show you how this measures out. So we pull from our 1 and 2. You can see we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. You can see we come to the 1.786 extension and then past the 200 for our 5th. So I have that labeled as a 1, 2. Very short 4th wave compared to our wave 2. But it measures nicely. But after that, we had a crazy impulse for our 5th, right? The way I would label this is a 1, 2. 3, 4, and then we get our crazy 5th wave for our 3rd, as you can see. Now, that looks good, but the issue with this, as of this area, is we haven't gotten our 5th wave to the upside, right? I was looking for a 5th wave to complete 5 and move our 3 over here, and then it's easy, right? We've got our path figured out. But sometimes we don't get what we expect in Elliott Wave, right? So when we look at this, we say, okay, it's not following the path we expected if this was the correct count. We have to ask ourselves when we don't get that. Now, it's just going against my time guidelines. We can still get this move to the upside. It just doesn't follow time guidelines. And if this does move to the upside, I would expect this to be a diagonal as a 5th wave. And then we can move our 5th wave over here, and this is our 3rd, looking for our 4th and our 5th. Although we'd come up pretty shy, we'd target between 600 and 675. And this would be our 2nd one too. Make sense? If we get a diagonal here, this is what I would look for after the fact. Like so. And then we have our 2nd one too. We can get ready for our 3rd wave after that. So we'll see if we get that. But what I'm concerned about is obviously this is pretty messy until we got that separation. So what does it mean if we don't get that? If we don't get that and we just collapse from here, then I would consider this a WXY or an ABC down to the 1-to-1 at 262. That's the 1-to-1 extension. Reason being, I put on our extension from this if this was an A wave, and this is our B. And, you know, I focus between the 1.236 and the 382, but it's not invalidated until it closes above the 1.618, and we haven't closed above. So this is still in play. So just wanted to keep that in mind as you're watching this. Although it has come pretty high, but that's still okay. It can still come down in a choppy manner, right? We can get a 3, it would be about 1-to-1 in time here, which would take us out if not longer, take us out to like mid to late February or sorry, April, if we were to get a matching leg, and all that would be is this wave 2 over here. And we haven't even started the third wave yet. So just keeping that in mind, because we're at that area that it's very important to see what happens. So the question is this our fourth? And we're looking for our diagonal for our fifth of our third, which we would come back by targets a little bit. We might just double top, because currently our third is between 1.618 and 1.786, right, of this wave 1 and 2, which would be right near the previous high. And then we get our fourth wave, in which case we'd expect to extend out in time. You can see this wave 2 took quite a while of time, so that's what we'd look for the fourth. So I'm not sure which one we're going to get. Do we come straight down here? Do we finish our move up? You can see we're right in that area. Again, no trade zone for me. I closed out all my longs on BCH currently, because I'd rather see what happens first and then buy this fourth, than try and then get stopped out on this one. Because as of right now, you can see we have a 3-wave move. That looks like a diagonal. So the only way this would be, this would have to be a WXY or ABC with a triangle in between. Doesn't look quite long enough. So would have to count though. ABC here, or a double zigzag. But you can see it's quite ugly, quite overlap. The only way I would consider this a fifth wave is if we continue to grind up and make our pattern here, and then get our fourth, something like this, right? But I also can see this as an A, expanded flat for our B, and we're completing our C, right? Might need one more wave up to get our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we just collapse to the downside, right? So very tough moment here. The one positive is as soon as we break this high, we can consider it potentially a fifth wave complete or a running flat. So if we can break that high, it changes my viewpoint on the C wave. So we'll see if we break it, and that high is at $528.85 according to MEXC. You have to check your own exchange for that, but we'll see what the count is at that point. But you can see we're right at the area where this could completely collapse. Make 5 waves down, come down for our C wave, then it would actually become a WXY rather than ABC. It'd be most likely a zigzag and a flat 335 down. So you can see this area is pretty tough. Too bad we didn't get that follow through, but we can still make that fifth wave in the third as a diagonal. We'll just have to see what we get here. We haven't overlapped either with our wave 1. So I wish I had a better setup for you guys. I didn't want to avoid this one by any means. Just needed to have it play out a little bit more, and I am out currently. There's just too much risk at this point. All I'm hoping for is the diagonal. I don't like just hoping for that. All right, guys, so that's it for BCH. I will make sure to update this. I got my alerts on either way, and I will see you guys on the next one.